Good morning and welcome to the broadcast. My name's Todd and you are watching Digging Life 21. It is an absolutely beautiful winter day here in the mountains of North Carolina. It's about 35 degrees, spitting some flurries. It's going to be a great day to work outside and do a little bit of labor. Project at hand today is continuing on with this septic drain line. What we're having to do is lift the pipe about 3-4 inches and underbedding it and padding it with the granite fines. In a previous video, I started down here and worked my way up. We're about halfway to the end of that line, so made good progress. Just took a couple of hours. Looks like we got, I wasn't here yesterday, but it looks like we got a pretty good bit of rainfall. Here's the wellhead. What I've got to do as well, that's a jumbled up mess, but one of those pipes isn't in use. But this pipe running up, I've got to pad it with fines as well. So I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get the skid steer warming up. That way I can get those fines and shuttle them over and start padding that line on up. It doesn't go quite as far as the septic line. It just goes right there, so shouldn't take me too long to get that padded. Alright, I've done really well, I think, getting this line in. I've just got a couple of rocks holding it down. I really anchored that in with fines. I'll go back when I'm done, and hopefully this snake and springy pipe will stay put. It doesn't really want to conform when it's cold like this. It's gotten to the point where using the skid steer just to here and me taking a shovel at a time is getting very time consuming. And we've switched over from where conservation of material, now we've got to speed time up, even if it means using a little bit more material and casting it along with the machine. I had to walk down to the truck and get another battery. This cold air is a killer on the GoPro batteries. As you can hear, I've got my excavator warming up, and now I'll be able to reach a lot farther to get my fines up toward the pipe. And I don't know how far I got because my battery died, but we are getting to that point where being able to move the material efficiently by hand is becoming less efficient, and by spending more time, that's more labor. And for the little bit of fines that this takes, it's better now to use the excavator to place material along that pipe and me rake it in and maybe have just a touch more waste, but in the long run, in this case now, we're saving the customer money. We just got the 309 excavator greased up. I grabbed this tilt grading bucket because it's just a lot better to spread those screenings with. Be here very soon with another load of screenings. I like to have everything out the way. There comes my fines. Boy, we got the construction sand now. I think I might be able to reach every bit of that from up top a little bit better. Let's go see. All right, it's getting colder. Make the shoveling easier. Now you guys can see that got a little bit silted where it's ran down my ditch line, and it's trying to come this way. Easy fix for that. Make your ditch a little bit deeper. Just like that. I'll probably come back later when I don't have those fines in the bucket, but just in the meantime, that's all it takes, right there. As down in here as I can. Now I can get leveled up. Maybe. Alright, now I'm just gonna get these fines as far down as I can in a pile. Ain't gonna hurt that shovel none. Now I'm gonna use my skid steer to shuttle my fines up to like here. Now the reason I didn't have my dump truck come up here is this road is finally starting to get solid, and the edges right here where I'm sitting are soft, and I just didn't want him going to the trouble to get up here. It's not going to take me any time to shuttle a few buckets of fines up that road. muddy mess. Muddy mess. Can't wait to start backfilling this though. See what kind of slope we're on. Camera never does it justice. All right, I just had to stop and have a bite of lunch. I am quite pleased with how this has turned out. I've got a rock ever so often holding that line down. It's cold, and that line don't want to straighten out or lay down for me anyway. So I've got it held down. Let's head up to the top and let you see what we got up there. I've got that bedded, and it's laying down pretty flat, but I probably will still go back and lay a rock on it just to get it to lay down completely flat and meet that bedding for the inspector. Want to make them as happy as possible. Now here, I don't remember why. I had a reason why I dug this out so wide, but it's hard to get the pipe to sit right on the fines when you've got it that wide, especially a big heavy pipe like that wants to squish it out. So I'm just going to take the tilt bucket and I'm going to shave this edge off and make a ramp going down toward the pipe, and then I can just hopefully just bring the skid steer up, dump my fines off, and it'll slide right down to that pipe, and I can bed it and then just lift that pipe up onto the fines. Out quite nicely for us getting this into the septic line bedded. I just got a little bit of rake work to do around it. This is as far as I've been able to get because of the water line trench being open. I didn't want to mess it up, but I really didn't want to have to carry shovel for shovel of material down through there. What I have done, I called the inspector, explained to him the situation, and he said that I could cover enough of the water line to where I could walk the machine across it. So that's what we're gonna do. This ground, this soil is so rocky that I didn't want to take a chance of a rock landing on top of my water line and busting it. So I'm gonna put a couple of inches of fines over it before I do dirt. Too crazy, but I had a big rock right there on the end of that water line there, but for them to tie into that line, they're gonna have to dig down in here anyway. So there's that. Scoop, I think, over that water line, and I'll be satisfied anyway. Satisfactory. Closer down there where we need to be. We may take off sliding or tilting like that. We may be in for a rodeo here. A little bit steep. Nothing I can't handle though, I don't think. Just hard to scoop facing uphill, isn't it? I'll go down there and chink that up under that pipe here in a little bit. Machine work done. possible anyway. There'll be a little bit of shoveling to do, but not a whole lot. That might be good. Clean this up, make it look nice. So I can see the layers of where it transitions. Sand to dirt. All right, shovel time. All right, friends, we just made the last pass going down the septic drain line. Whew, all right, we're coming down to the end of the day. As I was saying, I got this pipe all bedded all the way down, and I got the water line bedded. Before we take off, I'll stop down at the bottom and show y'all a view from the bottom looking up. I really like these GPI fuel pumps, but the only downside to them is they come with a really short little hose. So I fixed that. I got tired of having to work really hard to get just as close to the machines as I could. So I just ran down to Tractor Supply, got a 3/4 inch coupler, bought an extra length of hose. I'm not sure how long the section was I got, but I think it comes with a 12 or 14 foot hose, and then the additional hose I bought was like either 14 or 16 feet. So just a little something for you guys who are just starting and you finally graduate to needing an electric fuel pump because you're going through so much fuel. It's really easy. Run down to Tractor Supply. Again, it's just a 3/4 NPT. It's kind of like a national, it's like a standardized pipe thread. So it's 3/4, and you just couple it right on. Another thing I also did was I got a couple of swivels, because these are bad to kink when they come right out of the hose. I put a swivel here and a swivel here, and I think it'll make my hoses last a lot longer. So you all can see just how much extra hose I've got now. A lot. No more having to get super duper close to my equipment, or having to pull a machine down off a steep bank just to fuel it up. They're not super cheap, but I also bought one of these fuel meters, so I can log my hours used on each machine every day and how much fuel each machine burned through. Now let me show you guys from the bottom view. The septic tank is actually right here. They've been permitted to reuse that. So we started here and we worked our way all the way up through there. What made this so difficult is, as you can see, well, y'all may not be able to see, but there's a rock shelf right there. That whole hillside is bedrock, and I just had to dig as deep as I could get, and it made it really hard between using like 45 degrees and 22 and a half to get that worked up through there. Very difficult, especially since I'm not a plumber and I don't do it all the time, but I'm doing it quite a bit now, and I'm bound to get a little bit better. I'm really pleased with that. Now the water line was so much easier because it was a PEX line, which is just a coil of water pipe. And we were able to start out up there and just pull it out. The issue with that is that it is winter time, and every day it's been really cool, and every time I move that pipe I have to put rocks on it to hold it in place. After a few days and it warming up a little bit, it will take the shape of where you hold it down. But as you work along it pulls and moves around a little bit. But for no more than I do it, I'm really happy with how that turned out. For now, we're gonna say bye-bye to the 309 excavator and 289 skid steer. I'm really excited to be going back up toward Marshall, North Carolina, where we just did the previous driveway job, the extremely muddy one. We finished that driveway, got the job to cut in a house seat for one of the people that owns that property, and it's going to be a little job, which is some of my favorites. I love little banger jobs where we get in, get out in a few days, but this has been a blast as well. So you guys be sure to drop us a like. Hit that like button. Doesn't cost a thing, but it really helps me out, and I'd appreciate it. And for this crazy difficult project, let's, in honor of it, comment bedrock, because bedrock was the antagonist of this story, and we definitely overcame it. If you're new to the channel, new to the videos, and you like this project and you liked me, consider dropping me a subscribe. I'd love for you to join the family. Now I've got to get on the phone before they close, call in for an inspection, and hopefully in a very soon future video, we'll be using all of that extra dirt and topsoil that we banked over here to the right to cover these lines up and call it good. Thanks again, guys. We love you, and we will see you on the next one.